Hello everyone, it's Ginger here. Welcome back to another one of my sketching videos, and this is another one of the studies we're doing today, and we are taking a look at the structure and form, specifically the mark making of this beautiful painting by Gardner. And if you know me and you've seen a lot of my work, you know I love painting coastal landscapes. And this one is a particular favourite of mine, specifically due to the colour palette and the mark making. So we're using gouache here just to lay down and block out our initial colours. She's got quite a good colour palette going on here, quite a lot of neutrals and then some really bold darks that really draw your eye. The main features of this landscape is 4 sets, 5 if you include the sea. So you've got the distant cliff and hilltop, you've got the sea and beach area, you've got the cliff running down from the right hand side diagonally up, and the stairs down the side of the cliff which is running from the left hand side diagonally up. So you've got that lots of diagonal lines all coming from the corners and pointing in towards the center of the page. Now, we like to be able to follow through a painting and follow a path through the painting. There's nothing more simple than actually setting that out with a set of stairs, because that takes you down and into the painting. And in this case, all of the lines, the visual lines, draw you into that center point at the bottom of the stairs. So that's what we're trying to work through. So we're just layering all these different gouache colors down, just blocking out the different color sections. So we've got the hill in the darker grays, and it's quite a dark tone despite it being in the distance, but once the really dark colors come into the foreground, it will push that back. We've then got the beautiful bluey greens of the oceans, which we'll be layering lighter colours on later. And then our kind of flat, neutral middle ground, which is our kind of beach and kind of stony, grassy area. And then you've got our cliff, which is going to be a beautiful dark colour. So I'm just adding some neo colours in here. This is just to boost that colour in the sky. Diane's skies are very much a feature of the upper section of her paintings, but not quite the important element. The important element in that top third of the painting is going to be that hilltop, and you can see that here. So this is me coming in with a Payne's Grey Neo colour, and I'm just starting to kind of work in some of this mark making that really makes her kind of blocking really stand out. And it's really beautiful how she captures such a lot in very limited lines. You can see here I'm just darkening that shelf and then adding in that beautiful long dark line, and that really draws your eye along the shape of that cliff top and then up and over the mound, which is that distant hill, just separating it from the sky and just creating that clean line between sky and the distant hills. I'm just adding a little bit of water. The thing with neo colours is they are great as a colour when down, but they are even more vibrant when activated with water. That doesn't mean I'm going to wash them out necessarily. It just means that I'm brushing water slightly over them, and that activates them and it brings out the colour without spreading them around too much, which is a really lovely way to use them. So we're just starting to add some depth in here as well to our ground, our middle ground, should I say. And just bringing in some of the kind of more gravelly look. The beach, I believe, I haven't seen it myself, but it's kind of stony with a little bit of sand the closer to the sea. So there's quite a lot going on there. In Diane's painting, she has put the cottages in down along the sea there, but I don't really want to do that. I just want to focus on the landscape element rather than the actual housing element there. And to do that, I'm just bringing the kind of slight hints of purple that she's got in hers and really emphasizing them in that area where there would have been that line of cottages against the hill in the distance. And I'm taking that out and just really bringing that forward with the beautiful kind of lilac-y, I think they're lilac-y tones. Now we're going to work on our steps. We're just adding the outside lines, and that really separates it from the rest of the areas that we're working in. And then just adding a little bit of water to really accent that grey colour. We'll be coming back in a little bit later while we start to kind of add those lines in that kind of make it look a bit more like steps, because at the moment it just looks like a weird rock formation. And it is rock, but just not quite like that. I wasn't happy here with the cliff that the stairs are on the side of. It just wasn't high enough, so I've extended that. And now I'm starting to bring a little bit more depth into that foreground. It's not nice having that big open space. Now I'm using the Neocolor here, and yes, this is the Payne's Grey again, just to put in the handrail. The handrail is a really important element to Diane's painting. This handrail helps you focus down and along those stairs to the center of the painting. They really help reinforce that diagonal line to bring your eye down and along and then up to that middle of that painting. Now, because I'm using one of the Stillman Birn sketchbooks, this is not square. So, and her painting is square. So I've had to extend that handrail off to the side of the page so that it makes it more uniform and continues that line of direction. Now the lines themselves, they don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be all the same thickness. Having that ability to just create different shapes and thicknesses of lines really gives it character. Here we are now adding in some beautiful, and you're going to see this, it's a really reddy brown colour into the cliffs, just to make it slightly warmer, and also it really brings that contrast in that you can't really see anywhere else. You can see the red tone here now that I've started adding water to it, and it really just gives that value contrast that's needed, because at the moment the general value across the page is very light, and we need that difference to be able to capture your eye. When you stand back and glance at a painting, that first glance, that first interaction with the painting, the first thing that's going to catch your eye is probably going to be the darkest colour, not the lightest. So you really want to be using your darks to basically capture the viewer, grab them to a certain point in the painting, and from that point make sure that the rest of the area around that is then leading that person through the painting. Here we are adding some of our sepia. We're now just adding these it's not necessarily a neutral, but it's kind of like a dark neutral colour. It's not got a lot of tone to it, it's just safe. That's how I like to describe that one, actually. I think sepia is a safe colour. I suppose when you think of earth and you know, dirt, and you think of warmth, not necessarily dirty, but just that connection to earth and to nature, and it's really lovely. So you can see here, I'm just adding water over the sepia, but I'm not really washing it out too much. I want to keep the rough marks in because this is a really craggy piece of rock. And now I'm starting to add a little bit more blue into the water here. I just want to get a little bit more depth to the colour. The purple really helps, but there's not really enough blue, and I need to bring it down a little bit as well. There's too much of that open sand coloured space that's too light, and it kind of detracts from the direction. Now note how the water is also pointing you directly into that centre point at the bottom of the stairs. So here we go, adding some of the random grasses that are along the cliff. There's a lot of weird kind of sea grasses. So you can see here that's our cliff, and we've added a little bit more of a lighter colour into those grasses, because the grasses really vary in different colours. You know, you've got lots of different bits and pieces. You've got the grasses here, you've got the darker bits and the lighter bits where they get a little bit more sun bleached, and that direction of dragging those marks up to ensure that they really are creating that kind of long grassy texture. I wasn't quite happy here with where the handrail finished, and I've now had to put it on a bit of a weird angle, but I really wanted to make sure that it was coming into where I needed it. And here we are just adding a little bit more line work to the stairs, because at the moment the stairs don't really necessarily look like stairs, so they needed a few more kind of lines to show the difference in the steps. Just to kind of make a little bit more visual sense, because it looked almost a bit rampy, and I don't think you'd want a ramp, it would be really steep if you're having to do that, and that wouldn't make much sense. So there I am adding a little bit more to the grasses, just because I wasn't really happy with the kind of texture that I was getting. I mean, it's nice, but it was just a little bit kind of off, if that makes sense. And here I am just adding a little bit more dark at the bottom. I felt that where the dark section was along the stairs, it just wasn't quite enough. That really needed to bring that round and along the bottom of the painting, just to kind of really push your eye in and capture you on that blocky corner, and lead you into those stairs. And it just wasn't dark enough in the bottom half. And I always tend to keep my darks really low in. So we're just touching up bits and pieces now. Nothing major, but where I just want a little bit more definition or a little bit more contrast and value, just darkening that line along the cliff top so there's a difference between the cliff and the distant hill, and really making sure that those lines really stand out and really look good on that cliff, because it's the lines that are really important. It's those beautiful marks that really capture the kind of natural shape of that. And again, just tidying up bits and pieces, really, the handrail, the rock formation. I think it's just one of those points where you get to the point of you've done most of the sketch and now you're just fiddling. And I'm terrible for doing that. I don't know about you guys, but it's always a bit of a problem that I have, is I like to just fiddle and don't always know when to stop. And sometimes that can ruin a piece, and sometimes that can make a piece a bit better. You can see I've stopped there and was thinking about where I was putting those marks. A little bit more along that edge. It didn't really need that. I don't know why I did that, but it didn't really need it, but I'm doing it anyway. So wasn't really happy with the kind of light highlights coming into the sea. You know how you get the white foam? It just wasn't really coming through. So I've gone in with actually a soft pastel here, because it goes really nicely over the neon, the Neocolors and the gouache. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you all soon for another one. Remember to like and subscribe. Ta-ta for now. Bye.